Her voice was a symphony of comic genius. Her eyes could launch 1,000 laughs. From meltdowns in the Wild West to monster-hunting laboratories, Madeline Kahn was the undisputed queen of Hollywood comedy. She starred in an unbelievable string of smash hits, earned Oscar nominations, and redefined what it meant to be a leading lady in the golden age of parody. Yet, at the height of her powers, she seemed to vanish. What happened to Madeline Kahn? Why did this brilliant star, beloved by millions, retreat from the very industry she conquered? And what secrets did she carry that ultimately led to her heartbreaking, premature exit? Stick around, because we're about to unravel the complex and often tragic mystery behind the unforgettable Madeline Kahn. To understand Madeline Kahn's vanishing act, we first have to understand the meteor she was. Born Madeline Gail Wolfson in Boston, Massachusetts, her childhood was anything but conventional. Her parents divorced when she was just 2, and Madeline, along with her younger brother, was raised by her formidable, show-business-aspiring mother. This early environment, steeped in the glamour and uncertainty of the performing arts, undoubtedly shaped her. Her mother often pushed her towards a stage career, enrolling her in singing and acting lessons from a young age. But Madeline was no mere stage mother's puppet. She possessed a formidable intellect and a natural, untrained talent that blossomed early. While her peers were navigating high school, Kahn was already developing a voice of incredible range, from operatic soprano to a dizzying array of comic registers. After briefly studying speech therapy at Hofstra University, the call of the stage became too loud to ignore. She began her career in New York, honing her craft in off-Broadway productions and dinner theater. It wasn't long before her unique blend of classical training, rock-comedic instinct, and a captivating stage presence caught the eye of Hollywood. Her breakthrough came with Peter Bogdanovich's 1970 screwball comedy, What's Up, Doc? Opposite none other than Barbra Streisand and Ryan O'Neal. Kahn, in her big screen debut, held her own, proving she could steal scenes with just a look or a perfectly timed stutter. This explosive debut was just the beginning of what looked like an unstoppable ascent. But the role that would truly cement her legend and define her as the Queen of Parody was just around the corner, courtesy of a director who saw her genius like no other. The 1970s belonged to Madeline Kahn, thanks in large part to her incredible collaboration with comedic mastermind Mel Brooks. Brooks was instantly captivated by her, often saying she was a genius and the only woman who could do what she did. And he put that genius to the test, casting her in roles that would become iconic. First came 1974's Blazing Saddles, where she played the sultry, German-accented saloon singer Lily von Stapp. Her Oscar-nominated performance, a brilliant parody of Marlene Dietrich, was a masterclass in deadpan delivery and physical comedy. Who could forget her rendition of I'm Tired, or her unforgettable line, It's true, it's true. Later that same year, Brooks cast her again in Young Frankenstein as the exquisitely neurotic fiancée Elizabeth. Her performance, which earned her a second Oscar nomination, showcased her incredible range. From operatic shrieks to a surprisingly tender vulnerability, the sweet mystery of life scene, where her character is intimately involved with the monster, is considered one of the most brilliant and daring comedic sequences ever filmed. Between these Brooksian masterpieces, she also delivered a stunning, Oscar-nominated dramatic performance in Peter Bogdanovich's Paper Moon. Here, she demonstrated that her talents stretched far beyond comedy, bringing depth and pathos to a complex character. Madeline Kahn was not just a comedian, she was an actress of profound ability, capable of both making you laugh until you cried and breaking your heart. With 2 Oscar nominations, a string of box office hits, and the industry at her feet, Madeline Kahn should have been unstoppable. Yet, behind the scenes, a different battle was brewing, one that would slowly, subtly, begin to pull her away from the very spotlight she seemed destined to own. Despite her undeniable success, the late 1970s and 80s saw a noticeable shift in Madeline Kahn's career trajectory. She continued to work, appearing in films like High Anxiety and History of the World, Part 1. But the meteoric rise seemed to plateau. What explains this slow retreat from the A-list? Part of it was likely the industry itself. Hollywood, for all its glamour, could be a brutal place, especially for women. Kahn was fiercely intelligent and had strong opinions about her craft, which sometimes clashed with studio executives or male directors, who preferred more pliable actresses. She was known for being intensely private and struggled with the often superficial demands of celebrity. There were also whispers of personal struggles. Kahn was a perfectionist, and the pressure to constantly deliver comedic gold took a toll. She was a deeply sensitive soul who found the public eye exhausting. Relationships also played a role. She married at one point, but it was a notoriously difficult union for a woman so gifted at portraying chaotic characters on screen. Her private life was marked by a quiet yearning for stability and authenticity that Hollywood rarely offered. As the 80s progressed, Kahn increasingly turned to the stage, finding solace and creative control in theater. She appeared in numerous Broadway productions, earning critical acclaim and proving her enduring power as a live performer. This allowed her to continue acting on her own terms, away from the relentless churn of blockbuster cinema. Narrator transitioned to next segment yet, even as she found comfort in the theater. The shadows of a hidden struggle began to grow. A secret she carried would ultimately bring her magnificent career and her life to a heartbreaking halt. By the 1990s, Madeline Kahn was still working, gracing television screens in shows like Cosby and lending her voice to animated films. But the frenetic energy and constant presence of her 70s heyday were gone. She was still beloved, still recognized, but she was no longer at the epicenter of Hollywood. It felt like a conscious, albeit puzzling, step back. The public, captivated by her earlier brilliance, often wondered why such a talent wasn't given more leading roles, why she wasn't constantly on screen. The truth, however, was far more tragic than any professional choice. For years, Madeline Kahn had been battling a silent, formidable enemy, ovarian cancer. Diagnosed in 1998, Kahn kept her illness fiercely private, continuing to work even as she underwent treatment. She married her longtime love, John Hansberry, in a quiet ceremony in 1999, finding a moment of personal happiness amidst her suffering. But the disease was aggressive and relentless. On December 3, 1999, just months after her wedding, Madeline Kahn passed away at the age of 57. Her death sent shockwaves through Hollywood and deeply saddened her legions of fans. The public, who had loved her for her laughter, was heartbroken to learn of the private torment she had endured. Her quiet retreat from the mainstream, her desire for authenticity, and her deep privacy suddenly made tragic sense. Madeline Kahn was a singular talent, a true artist who defied categorization. She was more than just a comedian. She was a dramatic actress, an opera singer, and a woman of profound sensitivity. Her vanishing wasn't a rejection of Hollywood, but a desperate, private battle against an unforgiving illness. Though she left us far too soon, the laughter she brought to the world and the indelible mark she left on cinema continue to resonate. She ruled Hollywood not just with comedy, but with a unique brilliance that time will never diminish. The mystery of her retreat is solved, but the magic of Madeline Kahn lives on.